Hey guys, Sam here, and welcome back to the Leeds United Career Mode series. Welcome back to some gameplay, finally, in this Leeds United Career Mode. Sorry for not having any gameplay for you guys in a few days. It wasn't really the plan, but it just sort of turned out like that. So let's get back into the swing of things, man. Let's knock out December in today's episode. Let's get to the January transfer window, because I'm very, very excited to see some free signings that we could potentially make for this club. If you guys go on to enjoy today's video, definitely do leave a like on it, and let's take a look at the Billy Bremner table going into today's episode. That is what it looks like. Ings is still in first with 16 points, Saiz has 14, and Townsend is on 10. So Saiz and Townsend really have to make up as many points as they can while Danny Ings is injured, because if he's going to continue the way he started, looks like he's going to come back and start firing again. So that's what it looks like at the moment. Of course, before we do anything else, we have to take a look at the highlight games. If you're not familiar with the highlight games, they are post-com games, very quick highlights to get those games out a little bit quicker. So without further ado, let's take a look at the highlights, and then we'll return for our live games. Today's highlights are sponsored by Anitas Fajitas. If you guys aren't aware, with our highlight games, we do have sponsors. That's how I make most of the money on these videos, is I have sponsors. Today's sponsors, Anitas Fajitas. If you have any other sponsors you'd like to get in the comments below, they are back for our highlight games. As the first game in December, we travel away to London to play Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, one of the toughest games on the calendar, especially considering that even this far into the season, Chelsea are undefeated, and they are looking like one of the best, if not the best team in the league. It is definitely frightening to go away to Chelsea, especially when they haven't had a single defeat, but they have drawn a lot of games, so I was quite confident, especially with the way we were playing, that we were able to pick up a point here at Stamford Bridge. And as you can see, so far in the game, a lot of chances have gone begging. Both teams have been close, and even in the dying embers of the game here, last 20 or so minutes, probably the most clear-cut chance of the game for either team, and Mini Zlatan maybe just rushes the shot a little bit too much, and what ended up as quite an even game ended up as a draw, which I found quite fair. As you can see, those are the people that got the votes. Phillips was the man of the match. In a game with 0-0, it's very difficult to find a man of the match and find people that are worthy of a vote, but at the end of the day, that is who we decided to get the votes. If you're not aware, again, in the highlight games, I pick who gets the 2 and the 1. You guys get to vote on the live games, which there will be some further in the episode. Of course, now we're going into the Carabao Cup. We have made it to the quarterfinals, I believe, and we are playing Tottenham Hotspur. The lineup that I put out was actually pretty weak, because my thought process with the Carabao Cup was that if we ever came up against Spurs or Arsenal, I think were the two teams, if we came up against them early in the rounds, I would just sort of play a young team, play a weaker team, and see how things would go, because there's no point really in dedicating too much to the Carabao Cup when we're doing so well in the league. I'm more concerned with our league form at the moment, because it looks like we have an opportunity to potentially get a top half finish, even potentially a top 8 or top 6 finish if we're really being realistic about it, which I think it's not a silly statement. I mean, at the moment we're in the top 4. We've been in the top 4 for a while now, so as crazy as it sounds, our league is actually more of a concern than a cup. And coming up against Spurs, for me, the risk of playing a strong lineup and losing wasn't worth it. I would rather lose with a weaker lineup, and Spurs had their way with us. They played a pretty strong lineup, actually, and when you face bigger teams in Road to Glories, usually they play weaker sides, but Spurs came out with a decent team. Quite a strong team. The midfield was a little bit weaker, but the overall team was very strong. And as you can see, they're 3-0 up at home, and they do get a penalty. So it was a game that sort of ran away from us once Spurs went 2-0. A lot of risks were being taken, I should say. A lot of plays that I probably wouldn't have done were being done. And yeah, we were just more sloppy. The more goals Spurs were scoring, the more sloppy we were. And it ends 4-0 to Spurs. They were very clinical. They were really good. Probably the best team we've faced so far this series. And they were able to absolutely demolish us. So yeah, again, 2 games where it's very difficult to pick who gets the points. But I tried picking him as evenly as possible, I thought. As we go back into the Premier League, I should say, and we play another game, this time at home. And the lineups, as you can see for the Premier League, I haven't really explained about why I do just a still image. It's because it's the walkout, graphic gets copyrighted by YouTube, so we can't actually use that as YouTubers, which is unfortunate. That's why it's a still image. But as I was saying, we do get a home game here, first home game of the episode, and it is at hosting Southampton, I should say, who start off fantastically through Suso with a great finish. I mean, that is a quality finish from a difficult angle. Now, Vidval, I'm not sure if he could have done better or not. A lot of people think we should get rid of him. But that was a fantastic finish. You can't take anything away from it. And Southampton were playing fantastic. And Tadic nearly makes it 2 in the first half. So definitely a surprising turnaround for Southampton. A surprising... I wasn't expecting them to come out and play so well. I mean, they were a really good team. Vidval there saves our skin pretty big time right there. That was a great save, getting down low. As we try and bring one back, it's Andros Townsend who does get it with a fantastic finish. The goalkeeper does get a touch on it, but unfortunately doesn't redirect it enough to get it out of the goal. In fact, I think he touches it even more inside the goal. Or we might just get it a little bit lower. This angle shows the touch a little bit better. I'm not sure if that was off target, then he put it on target, or if he just hit it lower and it was going in no matter what. But we do get it back to 1-1. And late on in the game, Southampton's defense just splits open, or is just not there. And we make it 2-1 and grab a late winner in the 89th minute through Alioski, a man who really needs his confidence up. This is exactly how he went last season. He had a very slow start, then he got into the swing of things around January, so I'm hoping the same thing happens because he needs to step up on the right-hand side. And honestly, it was a pretty undeserved win. I'm not even going to lie. Southampton were, I'd say, the better team. But we pick up the 3 points, and that's really all that matters. And it seems like that's how it's really been in the league. We seem to be, more often than not, scraping in those wins, which, you know, I think is not bad. I think if you can play poorly and pick up results, that's actually a good trait to have. So moving on in the Premier League once again, this time we travel to Leicester City, and Leicester start off fantastically through Jamie Vardy, who puts them up 1-0 in a great finish. Again, one that I don't think I really could have done much about. A great dribbling. A couple of risky, well, one risky slide tackle there with Jorge. I thought he would shoot earlier, but he took it all the way to the goal. Nearly all the way to the 6-yard box, and absolutely no chance for Vidval that one. I mean, yes, you can blame him if you want, but absolutely no chance for him. But I know people will blame him no matter what anyway. Ahmed Musa nearly makes it 2 here as he rattles the upright, and Townsend playing with it in his own penalty box. That's a bit risky. But we do get a penalty, and a fortunate call is Benaloun, or I don't even know how you pronounce Benaloune, I don't even know. Gives us the penalty in the 30 or so minute, and Saye steps up to take it. He is pretty much usually our penalty taker, and he's going to go left, and so does the goalkeeper, Iverson, with a fantastic save. But we do get another opportunity through Mini Zlatan, and it's not good enough as Iverson makes the second save and keeps Leicester City in the lead. But not for too long as we enter the second half. It's Mini Zlatan with a fantastic volley. A well-worked cross here from Berardi. He did very, very well to pick out his man, and a well-taken goal on the volley. Straight at the keeper, but unfortunately just too much power. The keeper gambled on which way he was going to go, and unfortunately the keeper didn't win, and Mini Zlatan did. Ben Woodburn, I thought that was Connor Chaplin. Ben Woodburn gets a really good opportunity, and going into the 90th minute, probably our last opportunity of the game, it's Mini Zlatan once again, who puts us up 2-1, and another late winner in back-to-back games to get us up 2-1, and Mini Zlatan this time in the 90th minute injury time, with a very cool, calm, and collected finish. That's the 3 C's, man. That's really what it's about, being a striker. The 3 C's. Cool, calm, collected, left foot from Mini Zlatan, and we do get the win in what was actually quite an entertaining game to play. And that's the last highlight game of the video. Kibiki, or Mini Zlatan, gets a fantastic 10 out of 10 match rating. He gets 3 points in the Billy Bremner Award. But that is it for your highlights. Okay, and after all those games, we are now in 3rd position, and we come up against 6th place Watford, which should be a pretty difficult game. Watford have started the season well, similar to real life. That is a lineup that's going into it. The major changes really are Anita's coming on the right, Loftus-Cheek is playing centrally, Chaplin on the right of midfield, I guess. Ooh, an early start here. Loftus-Cheek with a nice dribble. He's got some room. He's going to go for the shot. Low post. Oh my goodness, low post. What the hell does that even mean? Andros Townsend now going for a bit of a run. He's cutting inside nice and early. He's keep going. It's a fantastic run here from Andros Townsend. He doesn't have much support. He's found Connor Chaplin eventually. Chaplin trying to put on his left foot. Richarlison with good defending. And it's Watford who have just escaped the goal right before half-time as well. Ronaldo Vieira now. Puts it on his right. Where can Ronaldo Vieira go? Yes, Chaplin ahead of him. That's a great ball if the keeper can get there first. Chaplin gets there first, but the volley, I should say, was straight at the keeper. Jesus, that is dedication. Keeper taking one right in the face. Coutinho through to Gray. Why is Cooper just running with Andre Gray? And another powerful shot, this time from Andre Gray. Trying to maybe outdo his teammate Vitinho, and that just fizzes over the crossbar. I think it's gone wide as well. Loftus-Cheek now, he sees a through ball potentially to Calvin Phillips. Phillips now, he's in the box all on his own. Who's he got in support? He did have Townsend at the far post. And unfortunately, it's another opportunity squandered. And now with a free kick for Watford, late on in the game, what can Watford do? You think they would go for Andy Carroll, but it was Domenico Berardi with a decent little effort there. How the hell does he turn his body? Look at this. Jesus Christ, that's close as well. It's not a bad effort at all. Oh, nice work from Woodburn to Loftus-Cheek. Back to Woodburn. That's some great play now. Woodburn finds himself in some space. Of course, the freshest player for us at the moment. Loftus-Cheek back to Woodburn. On his right, goes for it. And Watford, once again, the defence is stepping up when needed. Vieira now whips that one in. Cooper's in there. Cooper! Straight into the keeper, tipping it over the bar. One last opportunity, perhaps, off this corner. Another one. Back-to-back corners. This one goes all the way to Loftus-Cheek. Once again, Watford defence scrambling. Falls to Cooper, who finds Jorge. They're not going to take the shot. Falls to Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek, nice little fake shot from him. On his right foot, goes across keeper. And the keeper makes the save. Across goal, I should say. And there's full time. And what an exciting last couple of minutes. But it ends 0-0. And both teams, I thought, didn't do well in the attacking department. And both teams stepped up defensively when needed. And a 0-0 draw, I think, is nothing but fair. Definitely a cagey start to the game. The game sort of expanded. Watford had no shots on target. But when you look back at the highlights and you see how close they were, you probably think that those are more high-quality shots than the stats lead you on to believe. We had 11 shots, 4 on target, and we had a bit more of the possession. But overall, I thought it was a very even game, back and forth. And what started like a very cagey game, a very midfield battle sort of game, turned into this expansive end-to-end attacking game. Okay, so in terms of our highest player rating, it was Ronaldo Vieira, running things from midfield. I have to agree with that. He was fantastic, but there's a lot of good options. I thought Loftus-Cheek started the game really well, and he looked like he was going to have the man of the match performance. He sort of died off a little bit in the second half, but still an overall very good performance. Calvin Phillips along with Vieira, that combination was very good. And I thought the fullbacks were also really good. Sessegnon, but also I thought Anita was very good. So a lot of great options to your 2 points. Okay, next up on the calendar is a road trip to Brighton, as we play Brighton Hove Albion, obviously. That's the lineup that we're going in with. It's Ailing back in the right-back position. The rest of the team looks pretty similar. Alioski and Saiz are back as well. Of course, Mini Zlatan up front. So it's probably our full-strength lineup, although some of these players are a bit hot and cold at the moment. There's not really consistency in performances, so hopefully we can start maybe building a bit of consistency with this team. Oh, somehow that ball stays still for Mini Zlatan. It actually falls to Townsend now, who goes for the shot. And my goodness, I was not expecting that to be such a good chance. Townsend. Through to Saiz. What can Saiz do? Can he work a bit of his magic? He's going to go for a fake shot. But the defender's all over him. Turns around once again. Well, who does he have in support? He's got Alioski, who finds Mini Zlatan. Mini Zlatan goes for the shot off the crossbar. He likes doing that, doesn't he? He likes hitting the crossbar. Maybe he thinks this is just one big crossbar challenge. Saiz to whip it in. Drilling it low. There's an option there of Mini Zlatan, and Charlotto is off the line. Has cleared it. It falls to Jorge Sainz. And it's a great goal. Jorge was in the right place at the right time, and the centre-back makes it 1-0. And what a scramble this was in the box for Brighton. And they were doing a fantastic job until it just fell to Jorge. And he just had to tap it in. He kept cool. For a centre-back especially, sometimes they get flustered in those positions. And Jorge makes it 1-0. Let's go, boys. Saiz, nice ball through to Alioski, just nods it past the defender, and this could be 2 in quick succession if Mini Zlatan gets in the right position. He's trying to find Mini Zlatan off the header and makes it 2-0. What did I say? It could be 2-0 in quick succession if Mini Zlatan gets in the right spot, and he did, and Alioski just picked him out. The precision from Alioski for this ball right here. It wasn't a cross, I did a chip through ball, and that was fantastic. Got a bit more height on it, and allows Mini Zlatan to work his magic in the air. And it's 2-0. And it's a double barrel shotgun, 1-2 in quick succession. And Brighton don't know what has hit them right now. Oh, nice ball from Salah to Ince to Bjordal, and that's a great bit of play. As soon as I saw the ball into Ince, I knew that would be a decent opportunity for Brighton. And they needed a quick response in this second half, and they've got it. 8 minutes into the second half, and they've made it 2-1. First pass was so important. Comes back out. It's a great pass, great composure, and a nice bit of work from Brighton to make it 2-1. Game on. Game on. Brighton are definitely interested now. Saiz through to Townsend. Townsend now goes out wide. He's going to do a little bit of a fake shot back onto his left. Townsend does nicely. He's going to whip this in. That's a great ball. The keeper made a very important stop, but Alioski's there waiting for the rebound. And the away fans are on this side. Let's go celebrate with the away fans travelling to Brighton. The keeper had to deal with the cross because the far post threat was definitely true. But Alioski, right place, right time, on the volley. Nicely done. Pressure is back on Brighton. Dunk on the left. Jorge tries diving in. It's still Dunk. He's going to whip it in. And that's a good ball. And it's a near post finish from Roger. And I'm not sure what the defense was doing there. I don't know who's marking. It is Alioski. I was wondering what Alioski was doing there. He completely overruns it. And Townsend's trying to get there. Why is Townsend and Alioski, the two men, trying to mark a defender as a cross is coming in? And the last 5 or so minutes are definitely going to be a little bit more interesting than I thought they would be. Because it's 3-2 now. Townsend finds Sessegnon on the left. Nice play from them. It's Mini Zlatan making his way. It's Alioski at the far post. The touch isn't the best. He's done a little bit of a fake shot. Lays it off to Calvin Phillips, who puts it wide. And what really should have been 4-2 is a wasted opportunity. Last couple of minutes here, and it's going to be very interesting with one last opportunity for Brighton. It's whipped in. It's far post. It's Bjordal. It's Vidvald who knocks it over. Corner here. The keeper's up. No surprises there as the ball is whipped in. It's near post, it's Dunk, and it falls to Vidvald. Vidvald now is just going to boot that out. And Mini Zlatan is out wide, so is Chilwell, and Chilwell will get there first. There it is, I believe that is full time here at the Amex Stadium, and we have held on for the 3-2 win. But credit Brighton for trying. Those were the stats for you. Brighton very, very efficient with their shots on target. 3 shots on target with 2 goals from them. We had 11 shots, 6 on target, with 3 goals from that, with 53% possession. It was a pretty even game, actually. Brighton definitely made it interesting in the second half. I thought they were very, very good. In terms of the player ratings, it's a man that I thought was going down a little bit of a slump over the past month or so. It's Alioski who picks up a 9.4 match rating and 3 points for the Billy Bremner Award. A fantastic performance from him. You can't take anything away from it. With a goal and an assist, some very good options for the 2 points. The 2 goal scorers, Mini Zlatan and Jorge. Of course, we did concede 2 goals, so maybe if we kept the clean sheet, that would be Jorge. But I thought Vieira and Phillips again played well, and I think they definitely got to get some credit. Okay, so we do still have another game. It seems like with the rescheduling, we actually do still have a game, so it's a very different looking lineup here today. We do have a debutant in the right back position. I've gone with Coyle over Anita, who was fully fit, just for something a little bit different. But as you can see, the lineup is very strange. And take a look at the bench. There's names that you probably haven't heard of. There's a lot of youth players, and this is just an opportunity to try some new players, I guess. I don't know if I'm going to actually play any of the youth players, but Coyle at right back is 69 rated, so I was kind of excited to use him, but I was not expecting to play this game against Newcastle United today. Saka with a nice turn, and he's away. He's got Coyle in support. He's going to definitely try and impress. A lot of competition in the right-back position. Chaplin's made a decent run. Coyle whips it into Chaplin. Chaplin on his left. That's a perfect start. That is the absolute perfect start here. With this weak-looking lineup, as it looks like, that's a great start. And the right-back Coyle getting involved with the assist to Connor Chaplin, who starts up front today. There's a great play on the right-hand side that got Coyle into some space. Chaplin just pulls back too quick for the defense to even react. And a bit of interference there against Krul by, I believe it's Woodburn. Woodburn just gets in the way nearly, but I don't think Krul was making that save anyway. 1-0 in the opening minutes. Absolutely perfect. Oh, Chaplin, that is just fantastic. Slide tackle and wins the ball back, and here we go. Right back at Newcastle. It's the first 10 minutes. Chaplin's trying to get a brace, and Manquillo's the only thing stopping him from doing it. Coyle now on the right. He's got Chaplin. Chaplin now's got a bit of space. He's going to go near post. Connor Chaplin, that was an absolute bullet. And credit to Tim Krul to actually get palms onto that. Jesus Christ. He's going to try and find Loftus-Cheek now. Loftus-Cheek to Julian Grott. Falls back to Loftus-Cheek. He finds O'Kane. Back to Loftus-Cheek. Into Connor Chaplin, who's going to whip it in. Julian Grott is waiting there. And he's gone for a fucking bicey as well. Instead of using his big noggin at 6'4", he's gone for a bicey. He thinks he's the better option. Coyle now. Finds Anita. Anita, nice first touch there. He's got some support in the inside as Loftus-Cheek, who pulls that back to Yunan O'Kane. O'Kane doesn't make the most of the opportunity. There it is, full time at Ellen Road, and we do enough to hang on to what I thought was a very unlikely win here. A 1-0 win. And credit to the guys that played. They really performed very, very well. I'm kind of shocked because the lineup really wasn't that good. All over Newcastle, I felt throughout the entirety of the game. 9 shots, 4 on target for us with 58% of possession to Newcastle's 1 shot, none on target, 42% possession. This was one-sided, but we didn't take our chances. We could have had 2 or 3 goals in that game that we just didn't take. Not too many surprises. The goal scorer was Connor Chaplin, and therefore he is the man of the match, picks up 3 points in the Billy Bremner Award table. A couple of options, but really I think this one is a bit obvious. Coyle making his debut with the assist is probably going to be the popular option. Okay, so at the end of today's episode, guys, that is what the table looks like just before the halfway mark in the league. Chelsea still undefeated with 9 wins, 9 draws. Manchester United in second alongside us. We're tied on points. They have 1 better goal difference though, and then Liverpool in 4th with Stoke and Southampton tied on points. So is Swansea actually in 5th, 6th and 7th. And still struggling are Everton, City and Arsenal. But Spurs have made a bit of a recovery. They've been in the relegation zone mainly throughout this season, but they've made a bit of a recovery, and they're in 12th at the moment, so maybe they're on a bit of a run, and maybe they'll be joining up at the top of the table. And overall, we find ourselves in 3rd position, so we could be finding ourselves at the end of the season in a very good position, much better than where I thought we would be, which I'm not complaining about at all. In terms of the Billy Bremner Award, guys, this is how it looks at the end of the episode. Danny Ings still has the top of the table. He still does have 1 month left of his injury, but he served 2 months. So really, he's been out for 2 months and no one's been able to top him on the table. Sai is still in 2nd. He's catching up with 15. And Calvin Phillips, a new person in the 3rd place with 13 points. Of course, this is without your guys' votes. So really, Ings might not actually be first going into the next episode. That depends on your guys' votes in the top right corner, guys. This has been a massive episode though, guys. Next episode, we're in January. Next episode, we take a look at some pre-contracts and potential signings for next season. So if you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments section below, guys. But that is it for today's episode. If you did enjoy it, leave a like on the video. Hope you did enjoy today's video. I hope you had a good day. I'll see you guys in the next one very soon. Keep it real.